So I'm still, well, um, around this area because I just got out of the water and I just came to rest a bit. I feel very tired after being in the water because I swim and I do stuff, you know. So, lots of swans around, and there are people all over the place here. But this is another beautiful house on the beach. I just saw some interesting things here. These flowers. You know, the thing is that to everybody who is thinking about situations that are very difficult, you know, I'm here because I made an effort to come here. I mean, it's kind of an escapism, really. You know, you escape one thing and then you escape another thing. And I love these flowers. There's so many of them. They're just growing wild on the edge of the road. So this house was being renovated or, you know, worked on last time I was here, and now obviously it's finished. And perhaps they give them on rent, these houses. You know, this is another very cute house. This is kind of a family, big house. So old-fashioned, you know. And these were well, I always come here. That's why maybe I do the same houses. But I must say, you know, I was living in a room with a Ukrainian woman, sharing it with a Ukrainian woman, and she was all the time, you know, worried about Ukraine and, you know, what's happening over there. And, you know, she left a house, a farm, and this and that. So, you know, I was telling her, look, you know, it's useless you being here in this beautiful place and not enjoying it and thinking about, you know, what's happening in Ukraine, which you can't do anything about. So it's the same thing for me now. I mean, I think, you know, the situation is so dire in Palestine. I'm not Palestinian, but, you know, the fact that nobody can nobody wants to, basically, you know, and the people who want to, who have gone there on foot to Cairo and want to help those people, they're being well, obstacled by the powers that be who don't want to help the Palestinians. I don't know what it is, but, you know, this time round, it's not normal, because when Biden was there, at least there were food packages being sent. This is somebody's garden, and so that was some kind of a remedy. I mean, packages dropping from the sky, you know, that was what was happening, and it seemed that people had more compassion. Somebody, well, I mean, it was just after Aaron Bushnell gave himself a suicide mission, you know, for Palestine. He killed himself in a very terrible way, and I guess, you know, there was some emotion, you know, going on with people. They weren't so heartless as they are now, you know. It seems like people all of a sudden have become completely well, maybe they are disappointed, or maybe they're thinking that it's impossible to make a better situation, or maybe they just think, well, like, let them do whatever, you know. These crazy people, they think that Israel is so strong that it should win humanity, you know. I mean, like the ancient, you know, savages who would come and, like the Mongols, basically, you know, they would come and they would take over the place. And so now we're in that kind of situation. You know, the Mongols are back. They are doing all sorts of things, and even I was horrified to see that Mr. Trump was pulling out the chair for this Milekovsky, or whatever his name is, his real Hungarian name, and in fact all the bunches of people are running away to Hungary, so it means that there's something going on between Hungary and Israel, because he's Hungarian, basically. So, you know, the amount of power this man is having is not normal. I mean, he is not normal, and I guess it's like having a gowl, you know, in your area, and you think, God, this monster, you know, what am I going to do? This monster is going to, you know, eat everybody up. And so people get intimidated and frightened about what he's doing in Palestine, because what he's doing in Palestine is exactly what could happen anywhere else, and they could basically do those things in other countries as well, you know. So it's very unheimlich, what they say in German, you know, scary, frightening, and you think, well, you know, what can I do about it? I can't do anything about it. But funnily enough, there was this lady that I listened to, who is an American, who is very closely reading the Quran and she was saying before all this happened, there's going to be a war. And of course the war was unexpected. Nobody thought that there would be this crazy man throwing bombs at other countries, neighboring countries. So I said I'm sorry about what was happening in Ukraine, but I guess now I'm not sorry at all. I mean, this thing about Israel is really a world issue. These people have got to be, stop being agents of the colonizers, because they're working for Britain, they're working for Europe, they're working for, Israel is working for America, and this thing seems to have no beginning, no end to it, especially with the starvation of the Palestinians. That is really something that we have to acknowledge. It's hard for even for us to know about it. I wish there wasn't anything that would bother people so much as the knowledge of something like that going on. So well, as far as religion is concerned, there's a heaven and a hell, and there's more hope in a religious person than in a person who has no morals and religion, and that is with Mr. Milakoski and his friends. They have no morals, and they are absolutely unpardonable. I don't think it's the same with Putin. President Putin has done some good things for his country, and because I remember when the Russians were running away from Russia after Mr. Yeltsin, and it was very difficult, and I met groups of them because I was working in a shop, and they came to do shopping for gold, and that was anarchy and chaos, and he gave it some kind of order, and Russia survived, but this guy, he has no qualms. He's just doing this, he's on a killing spree, basically. He's a psychopath. Milakoski from Hungary. Let's say where he comes from, because he goes there and seeks shelter from those people, and they give it to him. So,
Vous savez que vous êtes dangereuse avec le bâton, là?
Dangereux, monsieur?